Northeastern head coach Kelly Cole set to begin her second season in Boston. And year one, 4-25, maybe not the record that you were hoping for, but the first year of a new regime, it's about more than results. Do you feel like you laid the foundation you were looking for in year one?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's, anytime you inherit a group of kids, it's about changing over. I mean, it's about training them to be the players that you want them to be, mentally, physically, and all of those things. And I'd say it again, we made some huge steps in the right direction.
And in the right direction with 7 returning players this year. And Samantha DeFries, 14 points, 7 rebounds, as well as shooting 52% from the floor. Talk about what her impact will be for the season for you.
Right. Sam has been phenomenal, I think, both on the floor and off the floor for us. We actually have 6 new faces, or fairly new faces this year. And I think her leadership and her consistency off the floor throughout the summer and leading into this year is going to have a huge impact on what we're doing.
How about her efficiency offensively? Christy mentioned a better than a 50% shooter. What kind of a luxury is that for a head coach to have her best scorer put the ball in the basket as often as she does?
I don't think it gets any better than that. And again, I think one of our task this year is to, with the new kids we brought in, to alleviate some of the pressure and the attention that she's going to be drawn in the paint by knocking the ball down from the perimeter and freeing her up a little bit inside to continue to give her those opportunities.
And we've heard about quarterback controversies and everything, but for you this season, it's going to be a battle for that point guard spot. How has that been looking so far in practice for you?
Yeah, some days fantastic, some days not so. I've got 3 freshman point guards that are kind of vying for that one spot. But again, I think the energy and the enthusiasm that these kids have brought to the program this year has been contagious, and I think throughout the entire program. And I think the point guard position is always the most important, and I think all 3 of our new young kids are doing a fantastic job.
Would you be comfortable with all 3 splitting time? Do you have to find that one, or are you okay with the rotation?
I don't have an answer for you yet. I think at this point we're probably got one that's kind of filling that niche, and the other 2 are kind of 2-1 swing guards. So I think you're going to see a lot of new faces on the floor for us this year.
And speaking of your non-conference play, with having a strong point guard, how is that going to impact you as well? Because to have a freshman point guard, you're playing teams like Fresno State, Michigan State, Boston College, and Missouri.
And I think that's one of the things that we set out to do is I think not only for our kids to show them that we can, this is what it looks like. We want to play with the big dogs. We've got to start seeing what it feels like. It's going to be challenging, no doubt about it. And like I said, I think for us to think forward in building the program, part of it is to show them this is where we want to be, guys, and this is how we're going to start to get there. This is what it looks like, and this is how we need to get there.
With Northeastern head coach Kelly Cole, who's in her second season in Boston, you mentioned all the new faces you have. You also have 3 returning starters, but how about Tiffany Montaigne? Coming off the bench last season, she was a double-figure scorer, but lost early in the season to injury. What does her return mean to your club?
Right. I think she's a huge impact player for us. Again, we lost her in December against BC. And again, she was a starting shooting guard. She's one of our best 3-point threats. And again, I think having her experience back on the floor, she's an explosive player who can get to the rack too. And I think all of these pieces are going to help, again, take some of the pressure off our inside game, allowing Sam and Francesca to get some more looks inside.
And going into your second season, what did you learn last season from this conference, and what do you expect from your team this year?
Right. I think one of the exciting things that I learned was that we were competitive in every game. I mean, I don't know if you looked at the numbers of points that we lost by, but there were very few games where we weren't in them. And I think for us, that's exciting to look forward to and say, hey, listen, we were competitive with what we had and with all the changes that took place. So for us, it's both exciting and frightening to know that we're going in with such a young squad, but at the same time, knowing that, again, we did compete. We lost multiple games. We had 2 double overtime games. And I think we lost almost 10 by less than 5 points. So we were a competitive team that just has to learn how to put it over the edge.
Well, you guys were battlers. There's no doubt about that. And maybe two of the players that best personify that: Cassidy Stewart, high energy, and Francesca Sally, big body inside, good rebounder, 6 boards a game. What do they bring to the table?
Yes, I mean, I think for this young squad, it's going to be they bring that experience. They know what it's like. They understand the travel. They understand the teams and the intensity of each competition. And I think for those kids to come back and stand up and kind of show us the way for the young kids is going to be imperative.
And this year, the women's game is going to 4 quarters.
Yes.
How has that adjustment been for the team?
Again, I think because it's new kids and we've got a lot of new faces, the impact I think hasn't hit us yet. I think it's more from a coaching standpoint,
Right.
the strategy behind it, and there's so much learning going on with us right now that it's part of it. So I don't think it's a huge change for a lot of them, but I think there's going to be a lot of impact when we see it on the floor.
Well, it sounds like there's an awful lot to be excited about in year 2 of the Kelly Cole era. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much for having us.
Kelly Cole, head coach at Northeastern on the women's side. Let's